Okay, today's video, we are going to talk about offering discounts for a review on Google reviews or Yelp reviews or wherever you're trying to get reviews built up at, or all of the above. Why, that can work technically fine or okay. It's not actually the best possible method to get reviews at the cheapest possible cost. And, of course, with the least effort also on top of it. Because obviously offering a discount to get a review, you're taking a significant part of your margin out of what you're selling with a product or service, doing that. Whereas doing another method here that my clients have been using for a while now, once I heard one client doing it and got the idea from him, I just started offering it as an idea to all my other clients, and it always consistently works. What is that idea? Specifically asking your employees to ask your customers for reviews. And there's a specific way to do it, as well as track it, as well as use it to get better services going at your company overall. So I'm going to explain how this exactly works in detail here, and how much of a basic impact it can also have on your business as well. So getting into the content here, of course you can offer your customers, like I said, a discount, like from your customers to get a review, okay? And by the way, before I go on, I've got videos about this that goes into this in detail, but the more reviews you get and the higher your average review score is at the places you get reviews at, Google, Yelp, wherever, or Home Advisor, wherever your industry review source is, the higher your conversion rates are going to be on the traffic that you drive to your site itself, especially so if you post your average review scores on your landing pages that you're driving traffic to on your site. We found universally in basically any market, having your average review score posted there, whether you're selling products or services, right away for the customer to see when they get to the landing page, before they have to scroll, will bring up your conversion rates. Why? Because it's the universal indicator that you have good quality products or services that everybody knows, no matter how dense they are. So you want to do that, and then of course, so naturally everybody's going to get bad reviews here and again, and when people are more likely to leave a review when they're pissed off than they are when they are happy, especially so in a lot of different markets, certain markets I should say, you obviously are in a position to where if you need to do that, you need to be able to have a way to pump up your positive reviews from the people that like your services but aren't willing to spend the effort to leave you a review. So in conjunction with this method, start telling people up front you have great review or great average review score over 4 out of 5 on these review sources, and you're going to automatically benefit from this in terms of a higher conversion rate on all the traffic you drive to your site. And that'll well pay for what you have to use to pump up your positive reviews times 10, times 100 at the end of the day. Because once you pay somebody to give you a positive review, obviously that's not an ongoing cost, and that contributes to a higher conversion rate on all the future traffic you drive to your site from then on. So, but getting back to the topic at hand, some people will, during like the checkout on their e-commerce site, they'll say, leave us a positive review and we'll give you a discount or whatever. Just like I've seen people that have, share our company or about your experience on social media and we'll give you a discount. And they have that built into their actual checkout process, and that can give you some positive reviews. But again, you're reducing the profit margin by doing that to get your reviews, and it certainly just may not be necessary. For most businesses, even if you have an e-commerce business going, you're still talking to customers on a regular basis. And even if you aren't, you're getting their customer phone number when they order, which you can then call that customer up and ask them, hey, how did everything go? Will you leave us a review? So there's no excuse why the method I'm about to share with you here, that's even better than giving customers a discount because it's actually cheaper to do than offering a customer a discount, has less impact on your profit margins than offering your customers a discount, why you can't basically do this. And by the way, even if offering your customers a discount was a better way or the cheapest way to get massive amount of positive reviews for your business, it's technically against the rules of the reviews places that ask customers for a review. Pretty much wherever you go, if you read the terms of service, technically that's a bannable offense, i.e. asking for customer reviews, or it's a bannable offense for the individual reviews itself, and if they know about it, they would actually delete that review if they knew you asked the customers for the review in exchange for monetary gain. Sometimes, certainly they'll let you ask for the review, but you can't, all of them pretty much won't say, will actually say, you cannot ask for a review and offer them XYZ, because for obvious reasons, that would actually muck up their system. So, despite the fact that offering customers a discount, like some people will put a message inside the box if they're doing e-commerce, saying if you leave us a review, we'll give you a discount that way or whatnot, to hide it a little bit better. It's generally against the rules, and it's just more expensive than to just pay your staff instead, like let's say $10 for every review that they get from your customers or clients that they help you get. So if you're selling out in the field as a part of like what you do at your business, so let's say you offer new carpet. Obviously, somebody's got to go out and deliver that carpet, and the sales guy usually does the sales quoting at the person's residence, right? Well, what you do in that case is you just simply tell your salespeople, every person you get to leave a review for the company will give you $10 extra as far as your sales spiff or commission. And you'll get plenty of positive reviews without having to do anything else, because it's very easy to get a review from somebody once you delivered on the end product and that you're there and you see how happy they are when they get the product, to ask them for a review, especially when you have a tablet right there. That's not anything extra. That's no extra work. For an extra 2 seconds of asking for the review, they leave the review and they're getting an extra $10 for every sale. That actually builds up to an extra, a decent amount for basically no extra work. They'll start doing it for you. And even if it's not, you can offer $20 or $30 and you'll definitely have something that gets you a shitload of reviews once you've just simply put that incentive or spiff in place. For a lot of you other guys who aren't doing in-home sales like that, like let's say you have a restaurant, we've had people that the person at the register would just ask for a review, and you compensate the person at the register an extra $10, $20 per customer that leaves a review on behalf, and as a result of that cashier being able to get the review. $10 might sound a lot for each review, by the way, when they're dealing with a lot of customers. At the end of the day, it's still not the easiest to get someone to leave a review. Otherwise, if it was easy to get a review from a customer, you'd already be getting a lot of them, because you have a lot of happy customers and they don't leave reviews. So that person at the register is going to have to give them a pep talk and really treat them nice and everything to get that review. So yes, you do have to pay like $10 for a review in that case. In some other instances, you might have to pay a little bit more. It just mainly depends on how many customers they interact with. If they interact with a lot of customers, $10 is usually enough, as far as I've seen with clients. If they're dealing with a few customers, you might have to pay $50 for a review, all the way up to $50. So, but it doesn't matter what business you're in, somebody at some point, even if they have to actively reach out, like I said, with e-commerce businesses, calling that person up after they ordered, asking them if everything is okay as a lead-in, can get the review from the customer if they just ask for it. And they're not going to ask for the review unless you compensate them. I've had people that tried to say, to their salespeople, your job on every single sales call and sale that you make is to ask for a review. And then once they started saying, we're going to give you an extra $30 for every person who leaves a review, they went from getting a review here and there to tons of reviews. 10 times as many reviews. Plus, once they started asking reviews on every sale that they're making. I had a sign company that started doing that. And he was pissed. This guy was literally pissed off the fact that, you ask them to do their job and they won't do it. But suddenly, as soon as you start saying it's an extra $30 for every review they leave, you suddenly get 10 times as many reviews as you were getting before. But salespeople specifically, if they weren't motivated by money, they would be doing something else. At least that's how you motivate salespeople specifically. So, but the main thing is, I'm sure you're asking yourself, how do you actually track which person, if you have salespeople and you have one salesperson, then it's easy to track who's getting you the reviews for the most part. But even then, how do you know the person didn't leave the review on their own versus as a result of the salesperson asking them for the review? If it's an in-home salesperson, you could track it through the tablet or whatever, if you will, given that you had the right system set up there. But even then, it's still tricky. So in order to track and give credit for the reviews so that these people know that they're going to get commission on every review they stimulate, all you have to do is create a custom QR code or a hyperlink or link itself for each employee. And with that, you got everything you need. So normally you can find videos on YouTube about how to create a QR code so that when customers scan it, it takes them directly to Google Reviews to leave a review or whatnot. Instead of having that QR code taking users to Google Reviews to leave a review, what you do is you create an intermediary. So I drew a small diagram of this, pretty simplistic here. Instead of, when they click the link that you give the consumer or the QR code, or type in the URL into their phone that you give them, instead of taking them to the review site to leave a review, there's an intermediary step here where you're going to ask, who is it, the person who referred you to leave the review? And then there's just a simple blank there, and they type that person's name in. Once they type it in and they click submit, then it redirects them to leave the review. That way you get to know every single person who leaves a review as a result of an employee that works for your company. Very, very simple. And for that matter, by the way, if you need a link for people to go to, you can use the same link for everybody in that case. And then, depending on what name they put in on that intermediary step, you know who to give the credit to, right? Respectively, you could technically, if you wanted to, have a hyperlink that you give a unique hyperlink or QR code to every employee and have that automatically redirect to the review site to leave a review, and have some sort of dashboard where you see how many people clicked the hyperlinks or how many people went through the QR codes. But it's not as good as this intermediary system, because just because somebody clicked on the link that leads them to leave a review doesn't mean they're actually leaving the review itself. You see what I'm saying here? So respectively, and it's also easy to fake the numbers. Having them go to the intermediary and then leaving their name and then going on to leave the review, that also isn't foolproof, because they could get to the review site and not leave a review. But it's a little bit easier, should I say a little bit better, than just having a hyperlink that somebody can click a bunch of times, if you will. If you want to add a little bit extra to this, you could, instead of on an intermediary just saying who referred you, you could put who referred you and what's your name itself. And then ultimately, because if you just ask for the person's who referred you here, you can match the time in which they did that intermediary, putting that person's name in, and compare it to the time the review is posted, and then you know it's the same person. If you wanted to, you could ask for that person's name and the person who referred you, so that you didn't just have some extra bit of data to actually look at your reviews and match everything up. But so there's not any foolproof perfect system, so to say. But for the most part, though, having this intermediary step, asking them who referred you, and then later on checking your reviews, checking the time that the person entered in on their intermediary form, who referred you, and then later on seeing if a review was posted about that same time, you could pretty much tell how many people of your employees, how many reviews they actually generated for your company here. So And, obviously you can run into some problems. They could actually have non-customers leaving a review and, screwing you up that way, but in a way that kind of isn't so much of an issue. You get a positive review. Sort of, you don't have an issue, if you will, but, and there's some extra considerations there, but it's not as easy to leave a fake review as you think, because if they start leaving a bunch of fake reviews, later on Google will catch on and start deleting them, and then you could say, if your reviews get deleted, you're going to lose your commission. And if there's too many, we're just going to not let you do it anymore at all, potentially, there. So anyway, there's just some different things to consider there, but that basic system right there is the one that works, okay? So, and obviously if they leave a review, this doesn't guarantee that you get a 5-star review every time. They could encourage a review from pissed off customers. So in that case, to fix that particular issue, what I would recommend to you is to simply say, we are giving either only paying if they leave a 5-star review, or we're paying more for a 4-star versus a 3-star, and we're paying even more for a 5-star than we are a 4-star. So that you're encouraging people to refer the people that are going to leave a good review, but more importantly, see, this is where the quality of your service is getting improved by this whole process I'm going to give you here today. The person's going to treat the person better so that the person's more likely to leave a good review. You see what I'm saying here? They know the better the review they leave, the better the commission they're going to get, or they're not going to get the commission at all if they don't leave a 5-star that you're actually looking for. So literally the whole time that they're working together, you could say, if they leave a review and they leave a 3 or 4-star, we'll give you $10. But if they leave a 5-star, we'll give you $100. Now that person's really working to give that person a good experience, so that when they go to ask for the review, they're getting a 5-star review, if you get my drift. And if you were to try something like that, of course, the reviews, you might be open to more fraud in that case, in terms of them trying to put through a fake review from a non-customer. But you could certainly go on, if it's through Google, you could go ahead and see who it is, and you could suggest to your employee that person should be told to basically show if you can't say, one of the main ways that could be done is you could say it has to be your an account with your name on it, or we would prefer that. You could also ultimately say, I would like to see a review after it's posted, and then the person knows who that is, and then later on you could have a manager go ahead and check and speak to that customer later on and verify that review was posted by that customer, if you get what I'm saying here. So, but it's a way to actually boost the quality of your services without having to do anything else. You just simply pay for the higher the review they leave itself. And so for certain circumstances, all you could improve in that case, like in the restaurant example I gave you, is the quality of the experience they have during the paying at the register. Or if it's the carpet laying company, salesperson getting involved at the beginning and then is speaking to them at getting the final check, if you will, then the whole experience can be optimized in terms of, at least from the standpoint of the customer dealing with the salesperson, if you will, throughout the process, not the carpet layers themselves, if you will, but the salesperson. And if you wanted to tweak the process, you could simply say, not only will we give $100 to the salesperson for getting that review and it being 5 stars, but we'll also give $50 to the carpet layers, and then the whole experience for the consumer gets improved just by and through measuring the review score itself. You see how this works? So there's a lot of different opportunities there available to you by compensating your team for getting positive reviews that they are able to get customers to generate, and paying more for better reviews. So it goes way beyond just raising the conversion rates on your site from traffic you're driving to your site. The service physically gets better. And then because the service gets better, you get more referrals and you make more money that way. Not to mention the higher and more, so the number of the average review score, by the way, the higher that is, the better the conversion rate on your site you'll get, basically. The more the reviews you get, 100 versus 1,000, 1,000 is going to get a higher conversion rate from a visitor than 100 because that has more social proof. Beyond that, by the way, Google's organic rankings, both in the map pack, the 3 listings next to the map on Google search, as well as that especially though, but also on just the regular organic search results, they both are dependent on the average review score, number of reviews you have. Way more so for the Google Maps and Map Pack, by the way, like 50 times more. But they both are dependent on your reviews. So the more reviews you get, the more traffic you're also going to get for free to your site. So you also have that as well. So you can actually pay quite a bit to get a positive review, way more than you would initially want to think about, because a lot of people are going to get, like I said with the other guy the sign company guy, he's salty because he can't just ask his employees to get the damn reviews without paying them. But once they started paying, they got all the reviews they needed. You may not like having to pay for a review, but the results you're going to get by paying for those reviews is going to be massive, and those results are going to make sure you're making money several ways. So you really could pay a lot to get a review and just get those reviews coming and coming and coming. And once it's set up and you're paying, you don't really have to do much. You're going to get the reviews, other than, of course, having to check and make sure fake reviews aren't coming through as a result of your employees. But other than that, your system self-improves. Like I said, you're getting better services on an ongoing basis. Your staff are actually compensated to find out ways to deliver a better service that then nets a better review without having to do anything else other than pay them for a better review from your customers that your customers are willing to leave. And then, of course, you're getting more traffic and more sales as a result of that, as well as a spin-off of actually getting the reviews, which is a way to make more money in itself. So anyway, this whole system, because all the benefits that it offers, is a much better way to go than offering a discount for a customer that you don't get all these benefits baked into the system and baked into the cake itself by itself. So with that said, I'll pretty much wrap it up with that. If you like the video, consider giving it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. And consider subscribing, as I have a lot of other content on this channel about making money with online advertising. I know this wasn't about advertising per se, but I'm one of the world's best PPC advertisers out there, and we offer guaranteed results for our clients at our PPC management firm. I work directly with my clients. I manage a few dozen ad accounts on an ongoing basis, and the strategies that we know can guarantee results for our clients, I give you here on this channel directly. It's rare information when you consider most of the YouTubers here on YouTube giving you information don't run ad agencies, or they've managed a couple campaigns. They are not like myself, who spend 40 hours of our week just testing different strategies, what works, what doesn't work. And therefore, it's the best information you're going to be able to find on how to make millions of dollars with your ads, which you will be able to do that just by learning the strategies that work in your market and beat your competition at their own game, if you will. So you should subscribe. And if you like the channel, you will also like my blog at guaranteeppc.com/blog, which also has written content from myself as well on how to make money with online advertising on Google, Facebook, Bing, and so forth. Beyond that, if you have any questions about anything I covered today, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel. I'll answer any question that you have about PPC or online advertising that you'd like to ask, as well as any questions that you had about today's system that I proposed, the reviews, like how my clients are using it, stuff that you need to know, what have you. Be happy to answer your questions. Beyond that, if you're looking for the best PPC expert to help you get guaranteed results on your online or business's advertising, I'd love to be able to hear from you. I'm pretty picky about the clients that I work with, but if you have a great product or service that just needs the best advertising, bolted onto it, I can work with you and not charge any fees until we get you more sales results on your campaigns in excess of whatever fees that I would charge you to be able to work together. Again, you have to have a great product or service to be able to have me interested in working on your stuff, but I would be happy to look at your stuff, see if we can work together and get you an estimate of how much sales results I could get for you working together, marketing your stuff at my PPC agency. So If you're interested in that, guaranteedppc.com is where you can find me and where I can look over your stuff. You can reach out to me and we can talk about it. If you're looking for results in your industry and you don't want an ad agency to work with and on your stuff on an ongoing basis, at the very least, if we've worked in your market, you can copy and paste the results we have already developed for your market already into your ad accounts and get the same kind of results for yourself for the most part without having to work with an agency ongoing. If you're, for instance, a plumber, and we've worked in the plumbing market for years, instead of having to figure out what works in your market, just copy and paste the ads and landing pages and everything we found worked in that market through the years of optimizing a campaign in that market already. Use those for yourself, and you already know what results you can get for it because we know the results we get in the plumbing market and in another parallel market that's pretty much going to work the same as in your market. So if you're interested in that and seeing if we've worked in your market and what kind of results we can already get for your market, you can also reach out to me at my firm as well at Guaranteed PPC. I'd be happy to tell you what we have. But with that, I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, that this technique helps you make a lot more money, and I'll see you on the next one. See you later.